found out my husband was cheating on me from his mother. Not because she warned me, not because she was concerned, because she helped him hide it. She called me at 9:47 p.m. on a Tuesday and said, "Sarah, I need you to stop calling Ryan's phone. You're making things difficult for everyone." I wasn't calling Ryan's phone. I was his wife, and I lived in the same house. So who was calling him? Before I tell you how I got to that phone call, how I ended up being a stranger in my own marriage while my mother-in-law ran my life, I need you to do something for me. If you've ever felt like the other woman in your own relationship, if you've ever been told you're too sensitive when his family disrespects you, if you've ever wondered why you're the wife but she's still the woman of the house, hit that follow button, because you're going to want to hear how this ends. And trust me, you won't see it coming. My name is Sarah Mitchell. I'm 36 years old, and I'm about to tell you how I spent 8 years married to a man who never really left his mother. This isn't a story about a monster. Ryan wasn't abusive in the traditional sense. He didn't yell, didn't hit, didn't cheat. Well, not until he did. This is a story about something more insidious, more socially acceptable. Something that people dismiss as, he's just a mama's boy. But here's what nobody tells you about marrying a mama's boy. You don't marry him. You marry his mother. And she never signed up to share him. This is how I became a guest in my own home, an outsider in my own marriage, the woman who wasn't quite woman enough because I wasn't her. And this is how I finally left. Not when he chose her over me for the 100th time. Not when she redesigned my kitchen without asking. Not even when she had a key to our house and used it whenever she wanted. I left when I realized something that broke me and freed me at the same time. He was never going to choose me, because in his mind, there was no choice to make. She came first. She always had. She always would. And I'd spent 8 years trying to compete for second place. Let me take you back to where it started. Before the phone call. Before I knew what I was signing up for. Back when I thought close family was a good thing. Monday, 6:47 a.m. My alarm goes off. I reach for my phone before I even open my eyes. It's become reflex. Check for messages, check for missed calls, 3 missed calls, all from the same person. Diane, my mother-in-law, calling before 7 in the morning. Again, I don't call back. I already know what it is. It's always the same thing. Some emergency that isn't actually an emergency. Some question that could have waited. Some opinion she needs to share immediately. By the time I'm in the kitchen making coffee, Ryan's phone buzzes on the counter. He picks it up. Doesn't even look at the screen, just knows. "It's Mom," he says, like I don't already know. Like it's ever anyone else at 6:50 in the morning on a Monday. He answers. "Hey, Mom." "Yeah. No, I told Sarah about that." "Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah, I'll remind her." I pour coffee. Don't look at him. Just wait. He hangs up. "Mom wants to know if you got the Instant Pot she ordered for us." I stop mid-pour. She ordered an Instant Pot? For our house? She thought it would help you with meal prep. You've been so busy with work. I didn't ask for an Instant Pot. She's just trying to help, Sarah. That phrase. She's just trying to help. I'd heard it approximately 4,000 times in 8 years of marriage. She's just trying to help when she showed up unannounced. She's just trying to help when she rearranged my kitchen cabinets because the glasses should be near the sink, not the dishwasher. She's just trying to help when she bought Andrew clothes I specifically said I didn't want him wearing. Trying to help was code for doing whatever she wanted and expecting gratitude. When did she order it? I ask. I don't know. Last week sometime. And you didn't think to mention it? He looks genuinely confused. Why would I? It's a gift. Because it's for our house, our kitchen. Shouldn't we decide together what appliances we want? Sarah, it's an Instant Pot, not a car. That's not the point. He sighs. That sigh. The one that means here we go again. The one that makes me feel like I'm being unreasonable for having boundaries. What do you want me to do? Tell her to return it? She'll be crushed. And there it is. The emotional hostage situation. If I say yes, return it. I'm the bad guy. I'm the ungrateful daughter-in-law who rejected a gift. If I say nothing, keep it. I'm agreeing that Diane can buy whatever she wants for our home without asking. I've been in this trap so many times I know every corner of it. Just tell her thank you, I say. Ryan smiles. I will. She'll be so happy you like it. I didn't say I liked it, but that distinction doesn't matter. He kisses the top of my head and heads upstairs to get ready for work. I stand there in my kitchen, the kitchen Diane redesigned 6 months ago without asking, holding a cup of coffee, and I feel it again. That feeling I've been trying to name for years. Invisible. Not in a romantic he doesn't see me way. In a literal way. Like I'm a placeholder. A body that exists in this house but has no actual say in how it runs. Because the real woman of this house is Diane. I'm just the one who lives here. Our house, a 3-bedroom colonial in Cary, North Carolina, about 20 minutes from downtown Raleigh, was supposed to be ours. We bought it 6 years ago. First house. Huge milestone. I remember standing in the empty living room on closing day, Ryan's arm around me, both of us giddy with possibility. We're going to make this place perfect, he'd said, and I'd believed him. We were going to paint together, pick out furniture together, argue lovingly about throw pillow colors and whether to get hardwood or laminate. We didn't do any of that. Diane did. It started small, innocent even. I have such a good eye for this stuff, and you two are so busy with work. Let me help with a few things. A few things turned into hiring contractors, picking paint colors, choosing furniture, arranging everything. I came home from work one Tuesday, 3 months after we'd moved in, and our living room was completely different. Different couch, different coffee table, different curtains, different everything. And standing in the middle of it, beaming like she'd just given birth, was Diane. Surprise! She spread her arms wide. I know you two have been so stressed about getting this room done, so I took care of it. Ryan walked in behind me. Wow, Mom, this looks amazing. I stood there, keys still in my hand, trying to process. You redecorated our living room? I had the key anyway for watering your plants. And I knew you'd love it. That sectional you wanted was so dark. This one brightens the whole space. That sectional I wanted. I'd spent 2 weeks researching sectionals, reading reviews, comparing prices. I'd finally found one I loved. Showed Ryan. He'd agreed. We were going to order it that weekend. It was gray, comfortable, modern. Us. Diane's couch was beige, formal, stiff, like something from her house. But we already picked out a couch, I said. Diane waved her hand. Oh, that one wouldn't have worked in here. Trust me, I measured. This one fits the space so much better. Ryan. It does look good, babe. That's not the point. Sarah, say thank you to Mom. She spent all week on this. All week. She'd spent all week redesigning our living room without asking us. And I was supposed to be grateful. I looked at Ryan, waiting for him to see it. To see that this was weird. Wrong. A massive overstep. But he was smiling at his mother like she'd just solved world hunger. Thanks, Mom. You didn't have to do all this. Oh, I wanted to. You know how much I love decorating. And Sarah's been so busy with work, I figured she could use the help. There was something in the way she said, so busy with work, like my job was an inconvenience. Like if I were a better wife, I'd have had time to decorate my own house. I swallowed the lump in my throat. Thank you, Diane. She hugged me. Of course, sweetheart. That's what mothers are for. Mothers. Not mothers-in-law. Mothers. Like she was my mother. Like I was her child to take care of. Like this was her house. I excused myself, went to the bathroom, sat on the edge of the tub and stared at the floor. This was my house. My first house. The place where Ryan and I were supposed to build our life together. And in one afternoon, Diane had made it hers. When I came out, she was gone. The living room still looked like a page from her Pinterest board. Ryan was on the couch, Diane's couch, scrolling his phone. You okay? He asked, not looking up. Not really. Come on, it looks good. And she was trying to do something nice. Ryan, she redecorated our entire living room without asking us. She was helping. I don't care. This is our house. She can't just come in and change things. He finally looked up. What do you want me to do? Tell her she messed up? Make her feel bad for trying to help? I want you to set a boundary. I want you to tell her she needs to ask before making decisions about our house. Sarah, it's just a couch. It's not just a couch, but I couldn't explain it in a way he'd understand. Because to him, it was just a couch. Just decor. Just his mom being helpful. To me, it was proof that I didn't matter. That my home wasn't my home. That Diane was the real wife, and I was just living here. Every Sunday. 5 p.m. sharp. Diane's house in Durham. Not optional. Not, if we're free. Not, we'll try to make it. Just expected. Like church. Like taxes. Like breathing. Sunday dinner at Diane's was the cornerstone of Ryan's week. The thing everything else got scheduled around. I'd tried suggesting we skip one. Once. In year 2. We'd had a brutal week. I was exhausted. Didn't want to get dressed up, drive 30 minutes, sit through a 3-hour meal, and pretend to be delightful. Babe, I'm wiped. Can we just have a quiet Sunday at home? Order pizza? Watch a movie? Ryan looked at me like I'd suggested we rob a bank. Skip Sunday dinner? Just this week. I'm so tired. Sarah, we can't just not show up. That would hurt her feelings. What about my feelings? I'm exhausted. It's one dinner. A few hours. Come on. It's one dinner. He said it like it was no big deal. Like it wasn't every single week. Like it wasn't the thing that dictated our entire weekend. Ryan, we never have Sundays to ourselves. Ever. We're always at your mom's. Because it's important to her. And family is important to me. The way he said family. Like I wasn't family. Like his real family was her. Fine. We'll go. Thank you. He kissed my forehead. It means a lot to her. It means a lot to her. Not. It means a lot to me. Not. I want to spend time with my family. Just. It means a lot to her. Sunday dinners were 3-hour productions. We had to arrive exactly at 5. Not 5:15, not 5:30, 5 p.m. I had to bring a side dish. Store-bought wasn't acceptable. Diane had made a comment once, year 1, about a store-bought pie I brought. Oh, you didn't have time to bake? That's okay. Not everyone has the time. Said in front of Ryan's entire extended family. I baked from scratch after that. The dinners themselves were performances. Diane holding court. Ryan attentive. Me, there. Conversation topics. Diane's week. Diane's friends. Diane's opinions on current events. What Diane thought about things happening in Ryan's life. When I'd try to contribute, I'd get polite smiles, and then the conversation would pivot back. One Sunday, I mentioned a promotion I'd gotten at work. That's nice, Sarah, Diane said. Ryan, did you tell everyone about your project? And just like that, we were talking about Ryan again. After dinner, the women cleaned. Always. Every week. Me, Diane, Ryan's sister-in-law Beth, and whoever else was there. The men went to the living room to watch football or talk. I'd be loading the dishwasher, always wrong, according to Diane, while she gave me subtle corrections. Plates face this way, hun. The glasses go on the top rack, not the bottom. You're using too much detergent. Beth would give me sympathetic looks. She'd been married to Ryan's brother for 12 years. She'd learned to just nod and agree. One Sunday, I had the flu. Actual flu. Fever of 101.3, body aches, chills. We should stay home, I told Ryan that morning. Are you sure? Mom's making pot roast. Ryan, I'm sick. Let me call her. He called. Came back 5 minutes later. She says to come anyway. She'll make soup for you. And she has that guest room upstairs if you need to lie down. I'd rather lie down in our own bed. But then I'd have to cancel. She's expecting us. So go without me. He looked hurt. Genuinely hurt. You want me to go to family dinner without you? You want me to go to family dinner with the flu? She doesn't mind. She wants to take care of you. I went. Because the alternative was Ryan going alone and me being the wife who didn't show up. The wife who wasn't dedicated enough to family. I sat there, feverish and miserable, while Diane passive-aggressively commented that I looked terrible and maybe I was working too hard. Not, you should go home and rest. Just observations about how I was failing at self-care. I excused myself twice to cry in the bathroom, not because I was sad, because I was so tired. Tired in my bones, tired in my soul. The second time, Diane knocked. "Sarah, you okay in there?" I opened the door. "Just not feeling well." She looked at me, and for a second, just a second, I thought maybe she'd be kind. Tell me to go home. Instead, "Well, you really should have stayed home if you were going to be miserable. You're bringing everyone down." I tried to stay home. Your son wouldn't let me. But I didn't say that. I just went back to the table. Ate soup I didn't want. Stayed until 9 p.m. like always. On the drive home, Ryan said, "Thanks for coming. I know you weren't feeling great. But it meant a lot to Mom that you showed up. Not, I'm sorry you felt pressured. Not, next time you're sick, we'll stay home. Just, it meant a lot to Mom." That was the pattern. Everything meant a lot to Mom. My comfort? Irrelevant. My health? Secondary. My presence was required. My feelings were optional. Year 5 of marriage. I was 31. Finally feeling stable in my career. Our house was settled. Our relationship was, well, it was what it was. But I wanted kids. Had always wanted kids. One night in bed, I brought it up. "Ryan, I've been thinking, maybe we should talk about starting a family." He was on his phone. Didn't look up. "Oh, yeah. I mean, eventually." "When's eventually?" "I don't know. We're still getting established. The house, our careers. Your job is going so well. There's no rush. I'm 31. That's not old." "I know, but if we want more than one kid, Sarah, let's just table this for now, okay?" "I'm not ready." He went back to his phone. I stared at the ceiling. Not ready. Fair enough. Big decision. I could wait. Except a month later, we were at Sunday dinner. Diane served pot roast, Ryan's favorite. Midway through the meal, out of absolutely nowhere, she said, "So Ryan mentioned you two are thinking about babies." My fork stopped halfway to my mouth. Ryan mentioned? To her? Before we'd even really discussed it ourselves? I looked at him. He wouldn't meet my eyes. Diane continued, oblivious, or not. To my shock, "I just think you should wait. You're both so young still. And Sarah, you're doing so well at work. It would be such a shame to derail that." Ryan nodded. "That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. No. That's what Mom was thinking." And now it was his thought too. I put my fork down. "I didn't realize this was a group decision." Diane laughed. "Oh, I'm not making the decision. I'm just offering perspective. I had Ryan young, and I always wondered what I could have accomplished if I'd waited. There it was. The subtle dig. The implication that having Ryan had ruined her life. The guilt weapon. "I appreciate your perspective," I said, voice tight. "But Ryan and I should probably discuss this privately first." "Of course. I'm just saying there's no rush. You have time." The conversation moved on. I didn't eat the rest of my dinner. On the drive home, I tried to stay calm. "Why did you tell your mom we were thinking about kids?" I didn't say we were definitely doing it. She asked how we were doing, and I mentioned you'd brought it up. "Ryan, we barely discussed it. That was a private conversation. She's my mom. I tell her things. But not me? You wouldn't talk to me about it, but you talk to her? It's different." "How?" He sighed. "Can we not do this?" "Do what?" "Get weird about my relationship with my mom." Weird. Wanting my husband to discuss major life decisions with me before his mother was weird. I looked out the window. Didn't say anything else the whole drive, but something shifted that night. I realized I wasn't going to get to make this decision with my husband. I was going to make it with his mother. And she'd already decided, but I'm getting ahead of myself. Because the baby conversation, or lack thereof, wasn't even the worst part. The worst part came 2 years later, when I was 33, when we'd been not trying, not preventing for 6 months, which is what happens when you can't get your husband to commit to actually trying. When I finally got pregnant, And Diane found out before Ryan did. But we'll get to that. First, let me tell you about the wedding. Because that's where I should have seen all of this coming. That's where every single red flag was waving, and I was too in love, or too naive, to see them. I met Ryan when I was 25 years old, junior accountant at a mid-sized firm in Raleigh. Finally felt like I was getting my life together. Had my own apartment, a one-bedroom in North Hills that I could barely afford but loved anyway. Independent, self-sufficient. Had my own friends. My own Tuesday trivia team at Raleigh Beer Garden. My own life that was full and mine. I wasn't looking for someone to complete me. I was already complete, but I liked the idea of partnership, of building something with someone, of having a person. Ryan seemed perfect for that. Ryan was 27, civil engineer, stable job, good salary, drove a sensible Toyota Camry and had a 401k he contributed to religiously. After a string of guys who couldn't plan past next weekend, Ryan felt like an actual adult. He was kind, a little quiet, but I liked that. Thoughtful. Remembered things I'd said. Our third date, over sushi in downtown Raleigh, he said, "I really value family. That's super important to me. My mom raised me and my brother mostly on her own after my dad left. She's everything." I thought that was sweet. What I didn't know was that I value family meant I am still emotionally married to my mother. What I didn't know was that she's everything was literal. Our actual first date. Not the coffee meetup to see if we click. The real first date. Nice Italian restaurant. Downtown Raleigh. White tablecloths. Candles. The whole thing. We'd been there maybe 20 minutes. Appetizers hadn't even arrived yet. His phone rang. He looked at the screen. "It's my mom. 1 second." And he answered. Right there at the table. On our first date. "Hey, Mom, I'm at dinner." "Yeah, what's up?" "Uh-huh, okay, hold on." To me. "Do you mind if I step outside? She needs advice on something." First date. He was taking a call from his mom. At the table. Sure?" He stepped outside. I sat there, alone, at a table for two, looking at my phone so I didn't look pathetic. He came back 7 minutes later. I'd counted. "Sorry about that. She's trying to decide what color to paint her bathroom and really wanted my opinion." "On our date?" He laughed. I know. She values my opinion a lot. Ever since my dad left, I've kind of been the man of the house, you know? The man of the house." He was 27. He hadn't lived with his mother in almost 10 years. But he was still the man of the house. I should have left right then. Paid for my drink. Said this wasn't going to work, but he was sweet the rest of the night. Attentive. Asked about me. Made me laugh. And everyone's parents call it inconvenient times, right? Right? 2 months in. Things were going well. He was talking about me meeting his mom. "She really wants to meet you. I'd love to meet her too." We drove to her house on a Sunday. Big house in Durham. Beautifully maintained. Looked like a magazine spread. Diane opened the door before we even knocked. She looked me up and down, head to toe. Assessing. First words out of her mouth. "Oh, you're taller than I expected. Not nice to meet you, not welcome, just an observation," with a tone. "Nice to meet you, Mrs. Mitchell. Call me Diane. Come in. The house smelled like pot roast. Looked like a museum. Everything perfectly placed. Dinner was a 3-hour marathon of Diane telling stories about Ryan. Cute childhood stories. Funny high school stories. Impressive college stories. Every single one ended with, "Right, honey." And Ryan would smile. "Right, Mom." I was asked exactly 3 questions. "Where are you from?" "Virginia. Originally." "What do you do?" "I'm an accountant." "Do you cook?" "Yes." The third one felt loaded, like she was assessing whether I could take care of her son properly. The rest of the meal was the Diane and Ryan show. She talked about his ex-girlfriend, Amanda. She was like a daughter to me, so sweet, so helpful. She'd come over and we'd bake together. Why was she talking about his ex-girlfriend to his current girlfriend? Ryan looked uncomfortable but didn't say anything. After dinner, Diane insisted on showing me Ryan's childhood bedroom. I keep it exactly the way he left it. And she had. Trophies. Posters. Even his high school letterman jacket hung in the closet, like a shrine. "He'll always have a place here," Diane said, hand on my arm. "No matter what. No matter what." Was that a threat? When we left, Ryan asked, "So, what did you think?" "She's a lot. She loved you. How could you tell? She invited you back." That was the bar. Not warmth, not connection, just being allowed to return. Month 8. Ryan planned a romantic weekend getaway to Wilmington Beach. I was excited. We'd been so busy with work. This felt like exactly what we needed. I'd packed cute outfits, a new bikini, was daydreaming about sunset walks and sleeping in. Day before we're supposed to leave, Ryan calls me at work. "Hey, babe." So, small change of plans. My stomach dropped. "What kind of change?" "My mom's coming with us." Silence. What? "She's been really stressed lately. Her book club drama. And I thought it would be nice to include her." "You don't mind, right? You don't mind, right?" Phrased as a question but delivered as a statement. "Ryan, this was supposed to be our trip. Just us." "I know. But she's been having a hard time. And it's a big house. She'll have her own room. We'll barely notice she's there. We'll barely notice she's there." We noticed. Diane picked every restaurant. I know this area like the back of my hand. Trust me, Diane chose which beach we went to. This one is less crowded. Better. Diane decided what time we'd go to bed. "Early start tomorrow. I want to hit the outlets." Ryan and I barely had 5 minutes alone. When I tried to talk to him about it later, after we got home, he said, "Sarah, come on. She just wanted to spend time with us. Why are you being weird about this?" Being weird. Wanting time alone with my boyfriend. Month 14. Ryan proposed. It was a Saturday evening. Late spring. Perfect weather. He'd told me we were going to his mom's house for dinner. When we arrived, the backyard was transformed. String lights everywhere. Flowers. A photographer I didn't recognize. Diane was inside the house, watching through the window. Ryan led me to the center of the yard. Got down on one knee. Said beautiful things about how much he loved me, how he wanted to spend his life with me. The ring was gorgeous. I said yes. And then Diane came bursting out of the house, clapping and crying. "Congratulations. Oh, I'm so happy. I knew this day would come." She hugged Ryan first, then me. "Did you love the setup? I worked so hard on it." I looked at Ryan. Your mom set this up?" She wanted to help make it special. Help. Later, much later, I found out Diane had planned everything. The location, the flowers, the photographer. Even helped pick the ring. Ryan had shown her 3 options. She'd chosen the one I was wearing. My engagement wasn't between me and Ryan. It was a production. Directed by Diane. Starring Ryan. The engagement lasted 10 months. 10 months of Diane planning our wedding. I don't mean she helped. I mean she planned it. It started the day after he proposed. Diane called. "Okay, so I've been thinking. We should have the wedding at the country club. They have the most beautiful ballroom. And I can get us a discount because I've been a member for 20 years. Oh, Ryan and I were actually thinking something smaller. Maybe outdoor." "Outdoor?" "Sarah, honey, this is North Carolina. The weather is so unpredictable. What if it rains? What if it's too hot? You can't risk that. I'm willing to risk it. But why would you when we have a perfectly good indoor option?" I talked to Ryan that night. "Your mom wants us to get married at her country club. Would that be so bad? I want an outdoor wedding, something small and casual. Maybe at a vineyard or a garden. But Mom has a point about the weather. Ryan, it's our wedding." "I know. And if you really want outdoor, we can do outdoor. I'm just saying, maybe we should at least look at the country club." "For Mom?" "For Mom." We looked. It was beautiful. I'll give her that. But it wasn't us. It was formal, traditional, old money Southern. We were jeans and craft beer people. But Diane loved it. And Ryan liked that Diane loved it. So the country club it was. Guest list. I wanted 50 people. Intimate. Close friends and family. Diane's list had 180 people. Who are these people? I asked Ryan, looking at names I didn't recognize. Mom's friends, family friends, people who've known me since I was a kid. But I don't know them. You'll meet them at the wedding. Ryan, this is insane. We're inviting 180 people to our wedding and I know maybe 30 of them. It's important to Mom. It's important to Mom. We sent invitations to 200 people. The cake. I wanted something simple. Maybe lemon with raspberry filling. Light. Fresh. Diane. Oh no, you need traditional vanilla almond. That's what people expect. But I don't like almond flavor. You don't have to like it. It's for the guests. I don't have to like my own wedding cake. The flowers. I showed Ryan a Pinterest board. Wildflowers, greenery, natural. Diane saw it. Oh, honey, no. Those look messy. You want classic roses, white and cream, timeless. I like wildflowers. Trust me. You'll thank me later. I didn't thank her later. Every decision went through Diane. Colors. I wanted dusty blue and sage green. She insisted on blush and ivory. Music. I wanted an indie band I loved. She insisted on her friend's jazz quartet. Even my dress. My mom and I went dress shopping. Found one I loved. Simple. Elegant. Me. I showed Ryan a photo. He showed his mom. Diane, it's pretty, but don't you want something more bridal, with more detail? I ended up with a dress that had more beading and lace than I'd wanted. Because Diane said it was more special. The day of the wedding, I was getting ready in the bridal suite. My mom was there, my bridesmaids, and Diane. Diane had inserted herself into every part of getting ready. Opinions on my hair, opinions on my makeup, opinions on my jewelry. You should wear pearls. Pearls are classic. I was going to wear these earrings my grandmother gave me, but pearls would look better with the dress. I wore the pearls. When I walked out to have photos taken, I barely recognized myself. The dress wasn't me. The hair wasn't me. The flowers weren't me. I was a bride in Diane's wedding. The ceremony was beautiful, I'm told. I barely remember it. I remember walking down the aisle and seeing Ryan's face. He looked happy. I remember seeing Diane in the front row, wearing cream, almost white. Someone actually asked her if she was the bride she'd laughed. Oh no. But I did plan everything. The reception was 4 hours of Diane holding court. She gave a speech about Ryan, about raising him, about how proud she was. She mentioned me exactly once. And now I'm so happy he's found someone to take care of him. To take care of him. Not to love him or to build a life with. To take care of him. Like I was his new mother. During the first dance, Diane cried. Happy tears, people said. But there was something else in her eyes when she watched us. Something I couldn't name then. Now I can. Possession. She was watching her son dance with another woman. And she didn't like sharing. We honeymooned in St. Lucia. 7 days, all-inclusive resort. It was supposed to be perfect. Ryan picked it. Well, Diane suggested it. Same difference. Day 1. Amazing. We slept in, had breakfast on our balcony, went to the beach. Day 2. Good. Couples massage, sunset dinner. Day 3, 7:14 a.m. Ryan's phone rang. I was still asleep. He answered. Hey, Mom. I opened one eye. Who answers their mother's call at 7 a.m. on their honeymoon? Uh-huh. Okay. Did you try unplugging it? Right. Hold on. He got out of bed, took the call onto the balcony. I lay there, staring at the ceiling. 20 minutes later, he came back in. Sorry, Mom's dishwasher is acting up. She needed troubleshooting. We're in St. Lucia. I know, but it'll just take a second to help her figure it out. Ryan, we're on our honeymoon. She needed help. It's not a big deal. Not a big deal. It happened 3 more times that week. Once about her thermostat. Once about a weird noise her car was making. Once just because she wanted to check in. Each time, I bit my tongue. Because making an issue of it made me the bad guy. The wife who couldn't share, who was possessive, who didn't understand family. On the flight home, Ryan said, This was perfect. Exactly what we needed. I looked out the window at clouds. Perfect. Sure. If you don't count your mother-in-law being the third person on our honeymoon. Use previously written content about Diane redecorating. But the redecorating was just the beginning. 3 months after the living room incident, I came home from work to find Diane in my kitchen. Not knocking, not calling first. Just there. Unloading groceries. Oh, hi, honey. I was at Costco and picked up a few things I thought you might need. I put my bag down. How did you get in? I have a key, remember? For emergencies. This is an emergency? She laughed. No, silly. But I was in the area and thought I'd drop these off. Save you a trip. My kitchen counters were covered. Toilet paper, paper towels, laundry detergent, snacks I didn't eat, brands I didn't buy. Diane, you didn't have to do this. I know, but I wanted to. You work so hard. Let me help. Let me help. Translation. Let me control your household purchases. Thank you, but in the future, can you call first? Her face fell. Just slightly. Oh, of course. I didn't realize I needed permission to help. There it was. The guilt trip. The implication that I was being ungrateful. She left shortly after. Hurt, but trying to hide it. I called Ryan. Your mom was in our house again. So? She was dropping stuff off. Ryan, she can't just come into our house whenever she wants. Why not? She has a key. That's for emergencies. This is such a non-issue, Sarah. Why are you making it a thing? Why was I making it a thing? Because my house wasn't my house. Because my mother-in-law had more access to my home than I had control over it. But I couldn't articulate that in a way that didn't sound petty. 2 weeks later, I came home early from work, walked in the front door, heard noise upstairs. My heart started racing. Someone was in the house. I grabbed my phone, ready to call 911. Went upstairs slowly. The noise was coming from our bedroom. I pushed the door open. Diane, in our bedroom, changing our sheets. Oh, Sarah, you scared me. I scared her. What are you doing? I brought over those new sheets I found on sale. The thread count is amazing. And I noticed your sheets were looking a little worn, so I thought I'd swap them out. She was in our bedroom, going through our things, changing our sheets. Diane, you can't do this. Do what? I'm helping. You're in our bedroom, our private space, without asking. Sarah, I'm not a stranger. I'm family. Family. Family doesn't give you the right to violate boundaries, but try explaining that to someone who thinks family means unlimited access. I told Ryan that night, calmly, clearly. Your mom was in our bedroom today, changing our sheets. This has to stop. What has to stop? Her using the key to come in whenever she wants. I want the key back. Sarah, that's extreme. Is it? She's been in our house unannounced at least a dozen times. She redecorated our living room. She was in our bedroom today. This is not normal. She's trying to help. I don't care. This is our house, our space, and she's violating it. She's not violating anything. She's my mother. She's my mother. The trump card. The end of all arguments. I didn't get the key back. Diane kept coming. I started feeling like a guest in my own home. Use previously written baby conversation scene. After that Sunday dinner where Diane shut down the baby conversation, I stopped bringing it up with Ryan. What was the point? Any decision I wanted to make had to go through Diane first. But then year 4 rolled around. I was 30. Ryan was 32. And suddenly, Diane's tune changed. Sunday dinner, apropos of nothing. So, when are you two going to give me grandbabies? I almost choked on my water. Ryan looked at his plate. We're still figuring that out, I said carefully. Well, don't wait too long. Sarah, you're 30 now, right? Yes. You don't want to wait until it's too hard. Your eggs aren't getting any younger. My eggs. She was discussing my reproductive system at the dinner table. We'll decide when we're ready. I'm just saying. I had Ryan at 24. If I'd waited until 30, who knows if I could have had kids. The guilt, the pressure, the implication that my body was already failing. Ryan said nothing. A month later, lying in bed, Ryan brought it up. Maybe we should start trying. I turned to look at him. I thought you weren't ready. I've been thinking about it. Mom's right. We're not getting any younger. Mom's right. Not, I've been thinking about our future. Not, I'm ready to be a father. Just, Mom's right. Ryan, I don't want to have a baby because your mom thinks we should. It's not just because of her. I want kids too. Do you? Or does she want grandkids? Both. Why does it matter? Why does it matter? Because I wanted him to want a baby with me. For us. Not because his mother had given him permission. But I was 30. I did want kids. And waiting for Ryan to want them independently of Diane might mean waiting forever. Okay, I said. Let's try. We started not trying, not preventing in January. By June, nothing had happened. I was getting anxious. He was fine. It'll happen when it happens. Easy for him to say. His biological clock wasn't ticking. August, month 6 of half-heartedly trying. I took a test on a Wednesday morning. Just routine. Didn't expect anything. 2 pink lines. I stared at it for a full minute. Pregnant. Holy shit. Pregnant. My hands were shaking. I was excited, terrified, overwhelmed. I wanted to tell Ryan in a special way. Maybe make dinner. Set up a cute reveal, something we'd remember. I texted him at work. Can you come home a little early? I have something to tell you. He called back immediately. Worried. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong. It's good news. I just want to tell you in person. Sarah, you're freaking me out. Just tell me. Ryan, I want to wait until you're home. Is someone hurt? Is it bad news? No. It's good news. I promise. I just want... Then just tell me. Please. I was standing in the Target parking lot, still holding the test in my purse. This wasn't how I wanted to do this. I'm pregnant. Silence. Long silence. Then, are you serious? Yes. Oh my God. Oh my God, Sarah. Really? Really? I could hear him tearing up. That's... Wow. Okay. I'm coming home. Right now. He did. We hugged. We cried. We sat on the couch holding each other. It was sweet. Perfect. And then he said, I need to call my mom. My stomach dropped. Can we just have this moment? Just us? For like a day? Sarah, she's going to be so excited. Come on, I have to tell her. Ryan, I just found out 2 hours ago. Can it just be hours for a little bit? Why? What difference does it make? What difference does it make? The difference was, I wanted one thing, just one thing, to be ours before it became hers. But I could see in his face that he didn't understand. Fine, call her. He FaceTimed her right there. She answered on the second ring. Ryan, hi honey, what's... Mom, we're pregnant. Screaming. Actual screaming. Oh my God, a baby. Ryan, I'm going to be a grandma. Crying. Happy tears. Jumping up and down. Put Sarah on. Put Sarah on. He handed me the phone. Diane's face filled the screen. Tears streaming. Sarah. Congratulations. How far along are you? Just found out today. So, early. Maybe 6 weeks. This is the best news. Oh, we have so much to plan. I'm coming over tomorrow. We need to talk about doctors and vitamins and... Diane, I actually already have an OB. Who? Dr. Patterson, in Cary. Oh, Have you had your first appointment? Not yet. Just found out. Okay, well let me do some research. I'll send you some names. You want the best. This is too important. After we hung up, I sat there. Ryan was grinning. She's so happy. Yeah. What's wrong? I wanted it to be our moment. It is our moment. I just shared it with Mom. Our moment. Shared with Mom. That should have been my first clue about how the next 9 months would go. The next day, 9:07 a.m., Diane showed up at our door. With bags. I couldn't sleep. I'm too excited. She came in without waiting for an invitation. Spread items across our kitchen table. Prenatal vitamins. Pregnancy books. A binder. I made you a pregnancy planner. Week by week. What to expect. What to eat. what to avoid. Diane, that's a lot. I know, but I remember how overwhelming it was. I want to help. She pulled out a list, typed, printed. These are the best OBs in the area. Dr. Wheeler is at the top. She delivered Ryan. She's incredible. I already have a doctor. Who? Dr. Patterson. Diane's face did this thing. This subtle downturn. Oh, I don't know her. She's great. I've been seeing her for 3 years. But you've never been pregnant before. You want someone with experience. Someone I trust. Someone I trust. Not someone Sarah trusts. Someone Diane trusts. Ryan walked in. Morning, Mom. Ryan, I was just telling Sarah about Dr. Wheeler. You should make Sarah an appointment. I already have a doctor, I repeated. Ryan looked between us. Maybe we should at least meet Dr. Wheeler? Get a second opinion? I stared at him. Get a second opinion on my current doctor who I like and trust? I don't need a second opinion. Diane, it can't hurt to meet her. 2 weeks later, I had an appointment with Dr. Wheeler. Because it was easier than the constant pressure. Because Ryan kept saying, just meet her. Because fighting every single battle was exhausting. Dr. Wheeler was fine, professional, experienced, but she wasn't my doctor, and I resented every second of that appointment. After, in the parking lot, Ryan asked, So? What do you think? She's fine. Mom said she's the best. Ryan, I liked my doctor, but this is our baby. Don't you want the best? The best, manage what Diane wants. I switched doctors, and every appointment after that, Diane asked for details. How was your appointment? What did Dr. Wheeler say? Did she check the heartbeat? Are you taking the vitamins I got you? My pregnancy stopped being mine. It became a group project. And Diane was the manager. 20 weeks. Anatomy scan. We found out, boy. I cried. Ryan cried. We were so happy. We called Diane from the parking lot. She screamed, A grandson! Oh my God, Ryan, a grandson! The next Sunday, the entire family dinner was about the baby. Names, nursery themes, who he'd look like. Diane, we should start planning the nursery. I had Pinterest boards, saved for months. Woodland theme, greens, browns, cream, animals, trees, nature. I loved it. Actually, I have some ideas, I started. Diane pulled out her phone. I've been looking too. I'm thinking classic. Blue and white. Maybe nautical. Timeless. I was thinking more. Nautical is so sweet for a boy. Little sailboats. Anchors. I don't really like nautical. She looked surprised. Oh. Well, what were you thinking? Woodland. Forest animals. Greens. Greens? For a boy? That's so dark. It's not dark. It's natural. But blue is traditional. And you want the nursery bright. Stimulating for baby's development. Ryan jumped in. Mom does have a point about bright colors. Mom has a point. Of course she does. Can I at least show you my Pinterest board? I pulled it up. Showed her. She scrolled. Made a face. It's earthy. That's the point. I just think you might regret it. Blue and white, you can't go wrong. A week later, Diane bought the crib. Showed up with it. In a truck. Delivery guys and everything. Surprise! I found the perfect crib on sale. It was white. Traditional. Nice, objectively. But I hadn't picked it. Diane, we were going to shop for a crib together. I know, but this was such a good deal. And you're so busy with work. Ryan. It's beautiful, Mom. Thank you. The changing table came next. The rocker. The dresser. All white. All chosen by Diane. My woodland theme never happened. The nursery looked like a page from Diane's vision board. I gave up fighting. What was the point? 32 weeks pregnant. I wrote a birth plan. Who I wanted in the delivery room. Ryan. My mom. That's it. I showed it to Ryan. Looks good. Wait, what about my mom? My stomach dropped. What about her? You don't want her there? Ryan, I want it small. Intimate. I'll be exposed. But she'll be devastated if she's not there. She's been talking about being in the room since we told her. This is my medical procedure. I get to decide who's there. I know, but can you just think about it? 2 days later, Sunday dinner. We're eating. Diane puts down her fork. So, Ryan told me I'm not welcome in the delivery room. Everyone at the table stopped. Stopped eating, stopped talking. Just stared. At me. That's not... I just wanted it to be small. I understand. You want your mother there. That's natural. It's not about... But I'll be right outside. In the waiting room. And the second he's born, I'll be the first one to meet him. Ryan. See? Mom understands. Problem solved. Problem solved. Except it wasn't. Because Diane being in the waiting room meant she'd be texting Ryan every 15 minutes during labor. Which is exactly what happened. We couldn't agree on names. I liked Oliver, Henry, August. He liked Ryan Jr. Absolutely not. Why not? Because I don't want our son to be a junior. It's tradition. Your dad's not named Ryan. Your grandfather wasn't Ryan. What tradition? My middle name is Ryan, after my grandfather. And naming our son Ryan would honor that. Every conversation ended the same way. Finally, we compromised. Andrew Ryan Mitchell. Andrew, my grandfather's name. Ryan, his middle name. Grandfather's name. I could live with that. At a family gathering, me 8 months pregnant, exhausted, Diane announced, "We're going to call him Little Ryan." I looked up from my plate. Actually, we're calling him Andrew. Oh, I know his first name is Andrew, but Ryan is such a strong middle name. Little Ryan is adorable. He's not Little Ryan. He's Andrew. She smiled, patted my hand. We'll see what sticks. And she told everyone. My grandson, Little Ryan. Like I hadn't said anything. Like my opinion on my own child's name didn't matter. Labor started at 2 a.m. on a Thursday. I woke Ryan up. It's time. We got to the hospital by 4 a.m., got checked in, got settled. By 6 a.m., Diane was blowing up Ryan's phone. "Tell her we'll call when there's news," I said between contractions. He texted her updates anyway. 6:47 a.m. 4 centimeter dilated. 8:23 a.m. Got the epidural. 11:02 a.m. She's at 7 centimeter. Every text, every milestone, shared with Diane before I'd even processed it. At one point, mid-contraction, his phone rang. "It's Mom." "Don't answer," he answered. "Hey, Mom." "Yeah, she's doing okay." "Uh-huh. No, not yet." "Okay, I'll tell her." Hung up. "Mom says you're doing great." I was in the middle of pushing a human out of my body, and his mother was narrating from the waiting room. 16 hours later, Andrew was born. They put him on my chest. Warm. Tiny. Perfect. I was crying. Ryan was crying. The nurse. What's his name for the birth certificate? Me. Andrew Ryan Mitchell. Diane, from the doorway where she'd pushed her way in without asking. "Are you sure you don't want Ryan Andrew? It flows better." I had just given birth, and she was trying to rename my baby. Ryan. "Mom, we decided on Andrew Ryan." "I know. I just thought..." The nurse cut her off. "Andrew Ryan Mitchell it is. Congratulations." Diane took 47 photos in the first 10 minutes. Posted them on Facebook before I could even process what had happened. Caption: "My grandson is here. Welcome to the world, little Ryan." Not Andrew. Little Ryan. Andrew was 8 weeks old. I'd slept a collective 12 hours in those 8 weeks. Breastfeeding every 2 hours. Cluster feeding. Growth spurts. Sleep regressions that weren't even supposed to start yet. Ryan went back to work after 2 weeks of paternity leave. I was alone. Except I wasn't. Diane was there. Every single day. "I'm here to help." Help looked like telling me I was holding Andrew wrong, suggesting formula because breast isn't always best, taking Andrew from me the second he cried, redoing everything I did. One afternoon, I was trying to get Andrew down for a nap. He was crying, overtired, fighting it. I was rocking him, singing, trying everything. The front door opened. Diane still had her key. "Oh, poor baby. Let Nana help." She walked over. took Andrew from my arms. He stopped crying almost immediately. She smiled. Smug. He just needed his Nana. Something inside me snapped. Diane, I need you to leave. Her smile faltered. What? I need you to leave. Right now. Sarah, I'm just trying to help. I don't want your help. I need to figure out how to be his mother. And I can't do that with you here every day telling me I'm doing it wrong. Her face went cold. I have been nothing but supportive. I've given up my own time to help you. And this is the thanks I get? I didn't ask you to be here every day. Well, clearly you need me. You can't even get him to stop crying. Get out. She left, slammed the door. I stood there, holding Andrew, shaking. An hour later, Ryan called. What the hell, Sarah? What? My mom just called crying. You kicked her out? I asked her to leave. I needed space. You made her feel like shit. She was trying to help. Ryan, she's here every single day. She undermines everything I do. I can't breathe. She's trying to support you. You're clearly struggling. I'm struggling. Because I never get to figure things out on my own. She swoops in and takes over. This is postpartum hormones talking. Postpartum hormones. That's what he reduced my feelings to. You need to apologize, he said. For what? For hurting her feelings. She doesn't deserve this. I hung up. Stared at Andrew sleeping in my arms. And thought, I can't do this for the rest of my life. I joined a new moms group. Met online first. Then in person at a coffee shop. 8 women. All with babies under 6 months. We talked about sleep deprivation, breastfeeding struggles, body changes. And then one woman, Jessica, said, Can I ask something? Does anyone else feel like their mother-in-law is taking over? Every single hand went up. We spent the next hour sharing stories. Jessica. Mine shows up unannounced, redecorates my nursery, tells me I'm doing everything wrong. Another mom. Mine calls herself mama to my baby, like she's trying to replace me. Another. Mine bought a crib for her house without asking. Expects us to stay over every weekend. I shared my story. The room was silent when I finished. Jessica. Sarah, that's not normal. I know. What does your husband say? That she's just trying to help. They all say that. But here's what I did. I told my husband, it's me or your mom. He needs to choose. What did he say? He chose me. It took a few months. She was pissed. But he set boundaries. And it got better. I went home. Waited for Ryan to get home from work. We need to talk about your mom. He sighed. Like I was the most exhausting person on earth. What now? She's here too much. She undermines me. She has too much control over our lives. Control? Sarah, she's helping. You'd be drowning without her. No, I'd be figuring it out. Like every other new mom. Why are you being like this? Like what? Ungrateful. Mean. She doesn't deserve this. She doesn't deserve this. But what about me? Did I deserve this? Do you hear yourself? I asked, voice shaking. I'm your wife. I just gave birth to your child. And you're defending her. Because you're being unreasonable. I left the room. Locked myself in the bathroom. Sat on the edge of the tub and cried. Looked in the mirror and thought, I don't know if I can do this for the rest of my life. But I didn't leave. Not then. Because Andrew needed stability. Because divorce was terrifying. Because maybe I was overreacting. So I stayed. For 4 more years. Those 4 years were more of the same. Diane at every birthday party. Diane at every holiday. Diane at every milestone. Christmas? Her house. Thanksgiving? Her house. Easter? Her house. Andrew's first steps. She was there. Took a video. Posted it before I could. His first words? Dada and Nana. Not Mama. Nana. Every decision about Andrew went through Diane. Preschool? She toured them with us. Chose the one she liked. Extracurriculars? She signed him up for soccer. I wanted swim. Even his diet. He should be eating more protein, less sugar. You're too lenient, Sarah. And Ryan? Ryan never stood up for me. Not once. Every argument ended the same way. She's my mother. until the day I found out he was cheating, and his mother helped him hide it. I'm almost to that phone call now. The one from the beginning. But first, you need to understand exactly how I found out. Because it wasn't guilt. It wasn't a confession. It was Andrew's iPad. Andrew was 4 years old. Ryan and I had been married for 8 years. Things were fine. Ish. We coexisted. Raised Andrew. Went through motions. I'd stopped fighting about Diane. What was the point? One Tuesday evening, I was making dinner. Andrew was in the living room playing on his iPad. He walked into the kitchen. "Mommy, who's Melissa?" My stomach dropped. Not sure why, just instinct. "I don't know, honey. Why?" "Daddy's been texting her. A lot. Look." He handed me the iPad. iMessage was open, synced to Ryan's phone, something we'd set up when we first got the iPad so family messages would come through. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. "Ryan, I miss you, Melissa. Miss you too. When can I see you?" "Ryan, not sure. Sarah's been suspicious lately." My hand started shaking. I scrolled up. Months of messages. Hundreds of them. "I wish I could leave. You make me so happy. I hate lying to you. Last night was amazing. I felt like I was going to throw up. Andrew. Mommy? Are you okay?" I wasn't okay. I kissed his head. "I'm fine, baby. Go play." I went to the bedroom, closed the door, called Ryan. Voicemail. Called again. Voicemail. Texted. "I know about Melissa." He called back in 30 seconds. "Sarah, let me explain." "Explain? You're having an affair. It's complicated. Where are you right now?" Pause. "I'm at Mom's." Of course he was. "Come home. Now." Ryan got home 20 minutes later. Andrew was in bed. I'd put him down early. Needed him not to hear this. We sat in the living room. Me on the chair, him on the couch, neither of us looking at each other. "How long?" I asked. 6 months. "Who is she?" "Someone from work." "Do you love her?" Silence. Long, horrible silence. "I don't know." "Do you love me?" More silence. That silence told me everything. "I want you to leave," I said. "Sarah, get out of this house." "Can we talk about this?" "There's nothing to talk about. You cheated on me for 6 months, and you don't even know if you love me. Get out." He stood, grabbed his keys, left. I sat there in the dark, numb, empty. My phone rang. Diane. I almost didn't answer, but something made me pick up. "Sarah, Ryan just told me what happened. I wanted you to know." "You knew." Silence. "What?" "You knew." "Didn't you?" "Sarah, you knew your son was cheating on me. It's not that simple. Did you know or not?" Pause. "He told me he was confused, that he was unhappy. And you didn't think to tell me? His wife? The mother of his child? It wasn't my place. But it was your place to help him hide it? I didn't help him hide anything. You covered for him, his late nights, his work dinners. You knew where he was." Silence. She didn't deny it. "Sarah, if you'd been a better wife..." I hung up, stared at the phone, replayed what she'd just said. If you'd been a better wife. She blamed me. For Ryan's affair, for his lies, for everything. And in that moment I understood. I'd never been the wife. I'd been the other woman. Diane was his wife. I was just there. Over the next week, I did what I should have done years ago. I investigated, looked through Ryan's emails, bank statements, phone records, and I found so much more. Diane had been covering for Ryan for months. Text messages between them. Ryan. "If Sarah asks, tell her I was at your house fixing your sink." Diane. "Of course, honey." Ryan. "She's been asking questions. I need you to back me up, Diane." "I will." "Don't worry, she'd even met Melissa." Coffee, twice. I found receipts. My mother-in-law had coffee with my husband's mistress. When I confronted Ryan, he said, "Mom was trying to help me figure things out. She met the woman you're sleeping with. She was being supportive. Of you, not our marriage, not your family, of you. She's my mother." And there it was, the thing that had been true all along. the thing I'd been too blind to see. She was his mother, and that trumped everything. Me, Andrew, 8 years of marriage, all of it. Second place to Diane. I filed 3 days later. Ryan was shocked. You're really doing this? Yes. What about Andrew? What about him? You didn't think about Andrew when you were cheating. Sarah, we can work this out. I'll end it with Melissa. We can go to counseling. No. You're not even going to try? I tried for 8 years. I tried to be enough. I tried to compete with your mother. I'm done trying. I hired the best divorce attorney in Raleigh. Diane lost her mind. Called me screaming. You're breaking up this family over a mistake. A 6-month affair isn't a mistake. He's willing to fix this. You're being selfish. Selfish? I've been selfless for 8 years. I've given up everything. My home, my choices, my identity, to make him happy. To make you happy. I'm done. You were never enough for him. You know that, right? You were never going to be enough. I hung up. And I realized something. She was right. I was never going to be enough, because I wasn't her, and that's all he ever wanted. A wife who was just like Mommy. Ryan wanted 50-50 custody. I agreed. Despite everything, he was Andrew's father. But Diane didn't agree. She hired Ryan an expensive lawyer, fought for more than 50-50, used everything against me. Postpartum depression. I'd mentioned it once in therapy, years ago. Hostile behavior toward family. Me setting boundaries. Emotional instability. Me asking for space. Work schedule. Me working full-time like millions of mothers. My lawyer said, his mother is funding this entire thing. She's not just supporting him. She's the real opponent here. We settled on 50-50. But with one addition. Court-ordered grandparent visitation for Diane. She won. Even in divorce, she had control. I grieved. Not for Ryan, for the life I thought I'd have, for the partnership I thought we had, for the woman I used to be before I started shrinking. Therapy helped. Dr. Brooks. You weren't in a marriage. You were in a triangle. And triangles don't work. Someone always gets pushed out. In your case, it was you. How did I not see it? Because it was normalized gradually. You didn't marry a mama's boy. You married an enmeshed system, and there was never room for you in it. That helped. Understanding it wasn't me. It was them. It was always them. I started saying no. Diane. I want Andrew for Easter. No, that's my weekend per the custody agreement. But it's tradition. No. She tried going through Ryan. Ryan, can you just let Mom have him for Easter? She's really upset. No. Learning that word, no, felt revolutionary. I also started dating. Nothing serious, just reminders that I could exist outside of wife, mother, daughter-in-law. Met a guy named Tom, divorced also. Dad of 2, kind, respectful. Asked about my day and listened to the answer. Didn't call his mother during our dates. Didn't need permission to make plans. It felt like science fiction. Today, 2 years later, it's been 2 years since the divorce was finalized. Andrew is 6. Thriving, resilient. He splits time between me and Ryan. Ryan married Melissa 8 months ago. Diane loves her. Posted about it on Facebook. Finally, the daughter I always wanted. That hurt. But also freed me. Because it confirmed what I'd always known. I was never going to be accepted. I was never going to be enough. Not because I was lacking, but because I wasn't Diane. And that was Ryan's type. I'm in a serious relationship with Tom now. A year in. It's healthy, balanced, equal. He's met Andrew. They get along great. We're talking about moving in together next year. And here's the thing. Tom has a good relationship with his mom. Calls her weekly. Sees her for holidays. But he doesn't need her permission to live his life. Doesn't consult her on every decision. Doesn't put her feelings above mine. Because he understands that a mother's job is to raise independent adults, not dependent boys. Diane still tries. Still pushes boundaries. But now I have legal backing. Therapy. The word no. Last week she texted, "I want to take Andrew to Disney World me." That sounds nice. You can talk to Ryan about taking him during his custody time. Her. I meant just me and Andrew me. No her. You're being difficult. I didn't respond. Because I don't owe her responses anymore. I don't owe her anything. If you're listening to this and you recognize yourself, if you're the woman who married a man who never left his mother, if you're constantly told you're too sensitive when his family disrespects you, if you feel like a stranger in your own home, hear this. You're not crazy. You're not too much. You're not imagining it. You're in an impossible situation where you're competing with the woman who raised him, and you can't win that competition, not because you're not enough, but because the game is rigged, because healthy men leave their mothers and cleave to their wives, but enmeshed men never leave. They just add you to the system, and in that system, she's always the priority. You deserve better. You deserve a partner who chooses you, who protects your marriage, who sets boundaries with his family because you're his priority now. You deserve to be more than a guest in your own life, and if he can't give you that, he's not your person. Your person will want you to have autonomy, will defend you to his family, will build a life with you, not around his mother's preferences. I wasted 8 years trying to be enough for a man who was already married. To his mother, don't waste yours. If this story hit home, I need you to do something. Hit that like button. It tells me these stories matter, that they're helping someone. Drop a comment. Just one word if that's all you've got. Tell me, same, or surviving, or I left. Let me know I'm not shouting into the void. And if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel. We post stories like this Monday through Friday. Real stories. Raw stories. Stories about women who disappeared and found themselves again. Because you're not alone in this. Your story matters. And somewhere, someone needs to hear it. See you in the next one.